Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. I promised you a look through the telescope, and that's what I want to do. Give me a sec before, just to say that was the update tore down on some of the mods. I have the feeling there were some things that didn't work well together, so I had to weed out some mods, but I will slowly bring them back to see how much they still affect everything. But on the other hand, it's a good thing to make the mod load a bit smaller. I don't know what is gone now especially, but I'm slowly bringing stuff back in. I have EM, for example, back in, and the modular encounter spawner. I brought a different mod in that is called assertive installations or something like that, and hope that this is that that after the update not so many things break anymore. I got the request to maybe scrub the lens of our telescope a bit, but sadly I didn't find a good cleaning solution, so we will for now have to live with a bit of the stuff that's surrounding the lens, but that will get better hopefully. But you can see this works out fantastic. We have good resolution and we can definitely spy into the depth of space with this thing. But I have to say, I'm a bit worried. So sitting here and staring through that thing for hours and hours, that will not help, because that doesn't make for good content. And so we have to start building something. I talked about that the last time, that I want to start a science lab, and you can see that I worked on things over there. And in the science lab we definitely need, I think, computer that can control these things that we have around and can take a look at our experiments. So if we set something up, that the whole thing in the end gives us something that we can, don't know. So we need a control computer that controls all our experiments, controls this thing and looks for anomalies. That would be a thing. And again, for the other experiments, I would like to have something that where I can set up an experiment and then it kind of gets overlooked. Someone has a watchful eye on it, so that I don't have to constantly be here. So, and I started this. You can see that we have a small room in the front with glass wall to the back part of the laboratory. We can let us go on the outside in a second. The thing is still open and we will have to work on that. Good. We have some lockers here, a bit of green, that's always nice. And a medical bay, a medical room, so that we can refill oxygen and all that stuff if something happens. Don't know, some wounds by burning, small explosions, some acid or something like that, so we can treat ourselves here. We have a table or a console so that we can take a look at eventual findings. And so my computer is talking to me. And we have a toilet, so that's something that we can use. Good. Okay, but the back part, it is at the moment yeah, this part here is at the moment airtight. I have this window door here, and this part here is not airtight anymore. So this will be the part that we will use for experiments that we will set up. And this part, this empty part here, will be the place for our controlling computer core that we will have to build. I'm not sure yet what components I want to install into our computer, but I hope that I can figure something out that helps us there. You can see that I have started a place for one sort of experiment that I want to run later. That is this outside part here. This outside part will be a material lab, basically, that kind of controls how materials react to the conditions of outer space. Yeah, it would be good if there's new materials to discover, if we can test them, if that works out. All the other experiments, I'm not sure yet, and I'm willing to accept. I'm willing to accept some suggestions there for experiments that we can build here. And again, give me a suggestion that's buildable, and or maybe if you have something built that looks like a neat experiment, then let me know and we can set that up here. And what did I want to do? I need some parts for the computer. We need a base, and then we go in and we have our armor blocks, conveyor tubes. I need, is there something like that? It's not called speaker, it's sound block or something like that. This one, and then camera. Okay, good. I want to make the computer out of small blocks. I think that's enough for this whole thing. I think that's good. And then we can grind this off. So we have a good base for the computer. I want to see if this rotor, now with the new keys, I'm getting my brain is getting conflicting messages when it comes to working here. Let us name that thing. I'm still struggling with the fact that my whole that needs a better name later. That my whole key layout kind of changed because of the build planner. Good. Okay. I think the size of our computer should be as big as possible, so that we can fit in all the components that we want. We want to have a very reliable and hopefully a computer with a lot of computing mathematical superpowers. I'm techno-babbling again. It's something that I need to do when it comes to talk about stuff like that. The whole thing, when it comes to science and when it comes to the words for everything, it's just something I can not do. Good. I would say I will build a bit, and then we take a look at the progress I have made, and hopefully in the end of the episode we can turn on the computer and hopefully then have something that is able to, yeah, take a look and oversee our experiments here. So the outer shell is close to done. Again, it's at the moment just the outer shell. We have some electronics in here. You can see that some of that stuff is blinking and working as it should be. There will be a window in front so that we can see if EDGAR, by the way, is working. Electronic Data Gatherer and Researcher. EDGAR for short will be the centerpiece of this lab section, and you can see we have the most modern technology in here that the magnetic storage can provide us with some spindly magnetic, how's it, tapes, I think it was. And I imagine these as cathode tubes. Is that the right word for these electronic tubes? Again, it hopefully works out. It needs some more details, and then we definitely can start to turn that on and see if EDGAR is able to handle all our stuff, I hope. So the next thing I will do in the next episode is again work with the lab a bit more. If you want to maybe build a small experiment, again, it would be nice to fill this room with some experiments. Let me know, and don't know, give me something I can see on Discord. That's always the best. If you are on my Discord, then you can just submit something, show me something that I could build and fill this room with. EDGAR, again, we will turn that on in a bit. I'm missing some details that EDGAR still needs to work properly, but that hopefully works out, that we can turn him on, and then she, whatever, the machine is able to oversee all our experiments. I have storage in here, and then some magnetic storage tapes here. The central processor, I think, is somewhere in here. It will be glorious. EDGAR will be able to, yeah, really further our forage into the sciencey things around here, and it will be really nice not to have to sit down in our observatory and wait and don't know, go in and go and search for every point on the night sky myself. It will be good to have something that can do that for me. This is also smally detail work now. Before I was not taking too much look at building small things in the big environment, so setting small blocks on big blocks with rotors. It kind of still scares me, because the Clang is rearing its ugly head all the time when you set something up like this. But here it seems to work. really well right now. So I don't see any, yeah, too much shaking. I have made, you can see that I have placed EDGAR on these blast door blocks to give it a bit of a buffer. Blast door blocks have, they don't react to contact as much as the normal blocks would, and so setting the machine up on this this row of blast door blocks hopefully makes it a bit, maybe not stable, but gives it a bit of a dampener if something should happen with physics, with stuff like that. Again, the game is not too happy with stuff like this. A lot of people do it, but I'm always scared when I see other people forge into that and even, don't know, build basically, or not build, code rooms, whole rooms in small blocks with big and massive contraptions. This again, if this blows up, then I might lose this area here, but it will be not as bad as if I, don't know, code a whole room in small blocks. Okay, we need some LCDs to be able to see, don't know, to get some logs and to get some information out of EDGAR. I am thinking if it would be better to maybe, I'm not sure how to interact with EDGAR right now. Maybe I can come to a conclusion in the next minutes while I'm still building here, and maybe I can see how I want to do that. If, don't know, if EDGAR needs a voice, or if EDGAR needs, don't know, it needs to give me all the information in written form, or maybe we could use the complete and modern way of printing it out on pieces of paper, and it's when you go into computer technology for inspiration. I took a look at some other big computers that are out there, and mostly in fiction, so not in the real world, because big computers in the real world are just very boring. Very boring. They don't know, it's, if you take a look at a computer that has, don't know, really a lot of computing power, most of the time it's just a big room with black boxes in there that, I don't know, don't do a lot. A computer, in my opinion, needs some, don't know, we need something to see here, and especially in space engineers, having a computer that just does nothing. No, that's maybe not the best idea. I'm trying to work with the new armor skins, and you can see that these components in there have new skins, and in the back there the wall is also set up with that. I'm still struggling with it. How do you see it? Don't know, do you... I hope some of you really love the system and use it like crazy. We will make the front a bit nicer looking, I would say. So giving giving a bit of contrast here with the armor skins. Should look nice. The one thing I don't like, and now I'm really not liking them. There's people that can't stand them for ages, and there's a lot of mods out there that remove these edges. But now with the armor skins, the edges get really annoying because you have to, here on the side for example, you have to code the block down there in the different armor skin, otherwise it will always stand out like a sore thumb. Is that something that would be said? I need to definitely take a look at that later and see how I'm able to work the color in. It needs more color differences, otherwise it's just this big blue box with a bit of black on there. We will have to see. Okay, I would say I do a bit of another run of working on that for a few minutes, and then I will come back to you with hopefully being able to just turn the machine on and have a new way of what to say, a new way of researching and gathering all the information I have in this world around, and don't know. Let us hope I have enough blinky lights now, and I have enough information terminals, and can hopefully when I turn that on see if everything's running. This is already working. These are components that are basically they need to start up before the other stuff comes online. I can only hope that EDGAR definitely works. EDGAR will, and that's one thing that's a bit concerning. EDGAR will be definitely the most intelligent thing around. So I can only hope that doesn't go wrong in any way. We will have to keep an eye on that. But you can see EDGAR has a voice now, hopefully, and hopefully we can turn the machine on and everything works. I'm not sure. We will have to see if everything everything happens the way it should happen. I've made this button on the side. That's the turn offy button or the turn on-y button. And now did something happen? Or not really. Let us try again. Oh, something changed. Take a look. Now we have blinky lights, more of them. That's neat. We have some information panels. We have some information on the text panels. Seems to be okay. The only thing that we can do now is try and see if that works out. Not sure. Stand back a bit so that hopefully nothing explodes. And here we go. EDGAR? Can you hear me? It would be nice if you could answer me and tell me that everything is okay.
Good morning, sir.